Hello, everyone. Welcome. You've made it to our chance to reflect on our texts, beginning our War and Peace section. So, today, I'm going to get right to it and say that we're going to be doing something different. Because this week, what I want us to do is actually something I'd like you to do. This is going to be a bit of an Ask Me Anything. I think that this week, if you've had a chance to engage these texts after reading all the other ones, there's probably been a significant change that's happened. I have noticed in a lot of your comments online, and this has been true in reflections that I've been receiving, a surprising number of people warming up to Martin Luther. And I suspect that every one of you who had that feeling about his concept of trade, the way he discussed the role that personal feeling plays in the first passage regarding marriage, all of that goodwill that was generated probably went out the window today or yesterday when you read the text. And there is a number of things that confront us in the pieces that we've now considered. Ideas about just what a just war is, but also ideas about what a conflict should look like and who should tell us how to enter into it. And especially in Luther, ideas of just what it means not only to act as a Christian, but what it means to be a Christian subject. And by extension, what it means as a Christian to obey. There are a number of ways in which the horrible suggestions that Luther makes regarding following an unjust war, a tyrant into battle, the number of times that the actions of rulers are given a full excuse, with the single exception of insanity on the part of a ruler, these ideas force us to consider today, we moderns, just what it means to be an individual Christian, and what, not only an individual, but one who is a part of a hierarchy that is subject to something, in the same way that we are subject to the lordship of Christ. For Luther, we are by analogy subject to the lordship of temporal rulers. This is a remarkable pivot in how we read and understand things. And having, I think, the type of visceral reaction that you'll get from this Luther text, it provokes questions not only about war, not only about what it means to serve someone who is wicked, or to admit that horrible practices in battle are simply almost like the cost of doing business, just being alive here on earth. There is something that's different. And so today, the reflection on the text, and going ahead this week, our reflection is not going to be me telling you how to reflect, but I want to take this as a chance, we're just about halfway through the class, to have all of you engage in the discussion group that is going to be posted just right here with this. So reflecting on the texts War and Peace 1. And I want you to ask me questions rather than me explaining a few particular ideas with regards to just what Augustine thinks about the nature of conflict, how Aquinas understands kingship or sovereignty and its role in conflict, and Luther's casual acceptance of violence and the belief that the wicked, in any way, people who are sinful almost in any form, ought to be punished by execution. These ideas are big, heavy, and I think, given the tone of the course so far, can seem like a bit of a curveball. So, on the one hand, this is great. The video today is very short for you. It's simply a chance for you to hear this news. Also hear that you should now have, as I said in the last video, you should have your reflections back. I think there may be 2 or 3 assignments just for reflection 2 that were submitted late through the portal. And this weekend, I'll be completing the marking of the op-ed assignments. Any of you that might have one assignment left, there are some of you that just we're given a few extra days, and while I'm going to take those of you who had a later assignment, mark that this weekend with all of your op-eds. By Monday, you should have everything you've submitted to me so far back and marked for you. That's the promise to you for marking. So that, with that said, the next thing that I want all of you to do after you watch this little video, go on or go into the discussion group and ask me the questions that you want to have clarified. This doesn't mean that you can't also comment on other people's posts. It's still going to be a discussion framed by your interactions as well. But while I've been more of a passive observer in your discussions right now with a few interjections in previous weeks, this is going to be a chance for you to directly ask me questions. So please do so. Just who exactly did Luther side with in the Peasant Revolt, and why? Why did Aquinas neglect to speak about his familial connections to when he had cousins who were a part of a revolt and failed to acknowledge the personal implication he had in this type of regicide, or let's say princely conflict. Those types of questions, whatever it might be, I'm curious to hear from you, and I want you to hear from me what you want to hear. So we're going to encounter a number of very complex authors next week as we consider the excerpts for War and Peace. And this should be a chance for you to get a more solid grounding in particular concepts. If there is anything that I mentioned either in the last lecture or that you've encountered in the readings, you want to know the difference in between state actors and non-state actors with regards to conflict, whatever it might be. I don't want to put the questions in your mouth. I want you to put the questions in the discussion forum, and we can proceed from there and hopefully engage in a bit of a different dialogical format. So that's it. That's a short video. Enjoy what hopefully in most of Canada right now is a beautiful sunny day. If you watch this video later at night, well, I hope it's a beautiful moonlit night for you. But nevertheless, enjoy your Friday afternoons, everyone, and we will be in touch digitally as soon as possible. Take care.